So as far as like when you're planning it, obviously the scale's not anywhere near the same, but you still have to plan. You still need vendors. So what vendors do you need to target?
I would say absolutely you still want to have a photographer. You probably need them for less hours. So even if they're, like you were talking about, like not an elopement specific photographer, ask them, like, do you have smaller elopement type packages, even if they don't advertise that?
It might not be on their site.
Yeah,
but
they probably do.
Yeah.
Especially if you're doing like a Wednesday for 2 hours kind of thing.
Of course.
Yeah, then they're definitely going to probably be more flexible than on like a Saturday.
A Saturday in October, probably not.
Right.
But a Tuesday in July, probably available.
Probably. And then typically, attire. You don't have to wear traditional attire if you don't want to, but you're going to want something that's maybe, different than your normal day-to-day jeans and a sweater.
Yeah.
Maybe not, but traditionally I would say at least attire and photographer is what you're going to need. And then after that, it's kind of open to you. A planner can be great, especially if you're not getting married locally, if you're going to a destination. So like maybe someone who specializes either in elopements or someone who specializes in that market. So that can be really helpful, especially if you're planning from afar.
Do planners have better pricing for elopements typically?
I would think so.
I would think so too, right? Be less hours on.
Yeah, we don't really do a lot of elopements.
Right.
But I would imagine, like, especially in your destination cities, that they would.
Yeah.
Or something. It's usually less work.
If it's less work, then it should be, right.
Yeah.
Just curious.
Again, if it's a Saturday, it's probably different than if it's a Wednesday elopement.
And don't quote us because Samie doesn't do them, so we don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. So send your hate mail to Ryan at Bustld.com.
Oh.
See how I did that?
You spell that Samie.
Exactly. So flowers. You might not need a traditional florist, but you might want to hold a bouquet or something like that. That could be an option. Invitations, if you do an invite for anybody else or you want to have some kind of elopement announcement. I know that the Photo Brief, who is one of our photographers, one of our vetted photographers, has some really cute elopement pictures. And one of them is like a picture of an elopement announcement that just like sticks out of my head. So go check that out.
We should use that for the... when you're writing your
we'll make sure to include that picture. And then if you want to do like any kind of after party, you might need like rentals or a baker, or, a venue at that point. So whether that's the same day or, later date, those are kind of other vendors you might need. So you could still need a whole vendor team. It would just be slightly different.
But again, going back to the original podcast, about budget, it's the guest count that's driving a lot of the cost.
It is, yeah.
So, okay. So you sort of alluded to this, but how can it still be pretty?
Yeah, I think it's all about, like the location you pick, which could still be the courthouse. I've seen a lot of really cool courthouse elopements that, have like cute pictures inside and then they go outside and do all these adorable pictures on like at the front of the courthouse, or maybe there's like a park nearby. So the location can make a huge difference on how, beautiful your pictures are. And then, do you add some kind of decor? Like it's just, maybe it's 20 of you and instead of doing, white folding chairs, you can bring in like pew benches or soft seating at your ceremony or things like that you couldn't definitely, maybe would blow the budget for 200 guests, but for 20 guests, you could make work. So it definitely depends. Like if that's kind of the vibe, you want like a more traditional look to your wedding, but just like want to spend less money and have it go further, then you could do some really cool things with like your arbor and your ceremony. A big focus for the elopement is on the ceremony, obviously.
Right.
So you would want to put your money there.
Yeah, I remember it's been a few years, and I actually don't know her, but Katie Levins at the Charlotte Agenda, she did that at the courthouse, and I remember seeing the pictures. That was really
think those
pretty.
Are the pictures I was maybe thinking of.
Yeah.
Totally pretty.
Yeah.
So it can be really awesome.
So how do you include your family and friends without inviting them? Yeah, because I feel like that's going to create some hurt feelings.
I think it's all in setting expectations and how you communicate things.
That's just Sammie's rules for life.
You like this?
Work backwards and set expectations.
Pretty much. Those are my rules for life. So I think it's all about setting expectations. I would call, your closest friends and family, the people you would have invited if you had a big wedding, and let them know, like, you are so important to me. We've decided we're doing a super intimate elopement. And because it's just really important for, just us to be there or just our parents to be there or whatever. But we're going to celebrate you with you in other ways. So there's lots of other ways that you could celebrate with them. What a lot of couples do is throw like a big reception when they get home or maybe like a month or two later. So that can be like a really good low key way to kind of include everybody. You could go out to dinner after, if you did like that intimate ceremony, and then you guys could all go out and, grab a bite to eat and invite all the people you would have invited to like a regular, big wedding. You could celebrate with them all, like, after you get elopement, when you get all your pictures back, you could go out with all your closest friends and family and show them pictures and tell them about the experience. So I think it just depends on who those people are and how you can manage their feelings in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.